Since being founded in 1919, Leeds United have enjoyed pretty solid success in the English Football League. They have won the Premier League 3 times, the FA Cup once, and some other trophies along the way. Sadly, most of their trophies have come before the 2000s, and since then they have been struggling, bouncing between the Premier League and the Championship very frequently. So today, I am going to be taking over as manager of Leeds United, one of my favorite clubs in English football, and not stopping until we win the Premier League. This is going to be a long and difficult road to the top, but before we start, as always, if this video gets to 100 likes, I will be giving away a Leeds United kit to a random person that comments on this video. So hit that like button right now, and let's hop right into it. And this is the squad we are working with. As you guys can see, it is a pretty decent squad for a championship level squad, and basing it off of the rebuilds that I've done recently in the championship, this is a pretty solid squad. We have guys like Daniel James, who are amazing on the wing. Then we have Meslier, who is an amazing keeper right here. 24 years old, one of the better young keepers in the entire world in my opinion. We have some pretty decent talent on the defense as well. We have two young center backs, which I do think are going to be our center backs for a little bit here. And then we have two decently young wing backs as well. Our right back is very young at 23 years old, and our left back, Verbo, is 27 years old, so he should be pretty decent as well. Our wingers are where the squad truly shines. We have two fantastic wingers. I would say they're up to the level where they can play at least for, I would say, 50% of Prem teams as a starter, I would say. I think they're really underrated in game. I think they should both be at least to a 78, 79 overall. In terms of our midfielder, all three midfielders are very young except for Rothwell right here. But Rothwell is 29 and he is kind of that veteran guy that is going to help lead that CDM position and lead the entirety of the midfield. It's going to help us a lot. We need that veteran presence in the squad, and he is kind of our guy that is going to be that for us. In terms of our striker, we have a great striker as well, and we have Bamford, of course. If you guys know the squad, you guys know this guy. He's 30 years old, but also a fantastic striker I could put in as a super sub and things like that. In terms of our bench, we have some decent players. We have Solomon, who is a great player. He's a really, really good player. I think he can even come on for a guy right here as like a super sub, maybe, because amazing player. You guys have recommended that I rebuild this team a lot, and you guys tell me how much you guys like this player. I'm telling you, this guy is good. Very, very good. The only issue is, out of these two guys, they're both naturally a left winger, left midfielder type of player. I need at least one of these guys to start developing as a right midfielder, because I need somebody that's going to come on for Daniel James every once in a while. The good thing is, though, for this entire rebuild, for the most part, we don't really have to pick up any wingers until way later on into the rebuild. In terms of defenders, though, we have a 26-year-old on the bench and then a 30-year-old wingback. Wingback is a position I am actually going to take off Byron right here and put on Schmidt, because Schmidt is 24 years old, 86 pace, a fantastic Swiss player. Great player as well. One issue is, though, we need a backup midfielder. We don't really have anybody amazing, if I'm being honest. Nobody too amazing that I really want to put on here. You have guys like Gurev who are good, and I might put them on for now, but I don't think he might be our number one backup midfielder for a while. I think for now the squad looks very nice, but we do have to make some changes for sure. I feel like the first position that we really have to go for, I don't really know. Because we have our guy Rothwell, who I might actually take off and have as a super sub. And the reason why I'm doing this is because, if you guys don't know, I sim a lot in these rebuilds, and when you have a guy that can't naturally play the position and have that exclamation mark, it is so hard to perform when you have guys like that. So I need to put on somebody that can actually play the CDM position, because I think it's more realistic to keep the tactic the same as it is right now. This is the tactic that I'm going to go with just to keep it a little bit more realistic, because this is kind of how they are in real life. And I'm going to put a high defensive approach, though. I'm going to make it a little bit unique to me because I am the new manager, so I can make it a little bit unique. Both of these outside guys are going to be wingers. And you guys know I love having wingers on the outside. I really like it. It's really, really nice to have a winger. And then once again, Shadow Striker, the single greatest tactic in the game. And then two of these guys are actually not going to be on deep line playmakers. It's going to be a much more defensively heavy tactic right here. I'm going to have both of these guys on holding, actually. And then the defenders in the back are actually going to be on ball playing defender. That way, when the game happens, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Let's see if I can show you guys. Wait, not the activity map. One sec. I'll show you guys what happens when we have the ball. When we have the ball, our wingers... Wait, let me finish the tactics first, and then I'll show you guys this. So basically, when I put this guy to attacking wingback, and I have all these guys like this is how the tactic looks when we have the ball. So our ball-playing defenders stay at the back, but are really good opportunities for us to switch the play if we want to go through the backfield and things like this. The holding defenders stay with them just as backups if they have any counterattacks. Stops pretty much every counterattack so nicely. Our attacking wingbacks on the outside are going to be overlapping with the wingers. That's going to be the tactic that we have. And then our two wingers on the outside are going to be pushing towards the inside of the field while our attacking wingbacks push towards the outside of the field. Then, with our two guys at the top, we have our shadow striker who is going to overlap with our advanced forward. And the reason why I have our striker on advanced forward and not something like poacher is because when you have advanced forward and shadow striker, the shadow striker passes a lot towards the advanced forward, and they kind of pass between each other a lot, set each other up for goals rather than having just a poacher that's going to take shots every single time he has a ball. So it's a fantastic tactic. If you guys want to copy this, the code is right there. Please hit that like button if you guys appreciate me putting the code on the screen. But we have to make a transfer this season. We do. We have to at least transfer 1 or 2 players. Yes, I know we have a good chance to win the championship just with the team that we have. They're doing great in real life. But I feel like we got to make a transfer. We have to make at least 1 player. And who do we want to get? I feel like the person that we have to get, most likely, I don't know. I don't actually know. This squad is so nicely young that we don't really have to focus on a lot of these positions. Maybe it's a center back, because we have Odom right here, but oh wait, we'll actually start our 77 overall here. I know this guy's a little bit better in real life, but I might as well start the higher overall player, 26 years old, or exact same age, sorry, and you have a guy right here. So I feel like center back though is a position we really want to improve, and I feel like that could be our first signing, or we look for a striker, unfortunately, because we have an amazing striker here. But I think we need a phenomenal striker, and then I just don't know. This whole squad is so good. I'm such a fan of the squad. I like every single one of these players, so I don't know if I can actually pick up anybody. Maybe we'll leave the first season without picking up anybody. Maybe with the first season, we'll do it as a testing season. This is going to be a little bit different than my normal rebuilds, but it's a little bit more realistic because as of right now in the season, they're not going to sign any more players. The season is pretty much almost over. They're not going to start signing players this late into the season. So I feel like to keep it realistic, we're not going to sign any players this season. We're going to send them all the way to the end of the season, see how we do, see how our players progress, and then we'll make some decisions next season and see how who we want to keep and who we want to get rid of and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll see you guys at the end of the season. Actually, you know what? We're going to hop into our very first league game with the squad, and then we'll sim till next season. Actually, before we do that, I actually got a request from one of you guys on my channel to actually sign Manor Solomon right here. A guy that's on loan right now, but it is a guy that that you guys really seem to like, and he seems to not be performing as well as you guys maybe had thought, but you guys said that it's my job to change it. So shout out to Ite, by the way. Basically, we have to sign Manor Solomon, and we have to have him in the squad. That is going to be one of the challenges we have for today. We have to have him at least in the squad. Maybe he won't be a starter just straight off the bat, but he will be a guy that is now signed on the squad permanently. But yeah, so we're actually going to have this is how it's going to look. Solomon's going to be on the left side, and then Daniel James is going to be on a super sub with our guy, Ginonto, who is obviously a fantastic player, a lot younger. So I could be starting this guy just because he is 20 years old. He should go up a lot, but Solomon is a guy, I don't know. Do I start him then? I feel like Solomon's got to come off the bench for this season. For this season, Solomon will come off the bench just because I really want to develop our guy in Wilfred right there. Such a top caliber player. Let's sim the season, and let's see how we do this season. Hopefully, we end up doing a little bit well and get promoted. That would make it way better because we'll get a lot of money from that promotion. But we'll see. We'll see how we do. I'm not going to touch anything. Let's see how we do. We simmed for a bit, but we did end up having an opportunity to play our first game with the squad. So I was like, you know what, let's hop into the very first league match. We've done a couple of things already. Might as well test out the squad, see how the squad is in this very first season. Yes, it doesn't really count as a full rebuilding season, but we do have an opportunity to test out the squad nonetheless and see how good our players are in-game, because we're going to need some good players in-game. And straight off the bat, I don't know. Oh my gosh, why did our striker not just shoot that? I don't know why our striker let it be sat off for our winger guy. That is so annoying. Why wouldn't he just take the shot himself? Oh my, and we end up going far right with that one right there. Super unfortunate. Especially because that is one of my favorite players on the squad, the 20-year-old superstar winger right there in Wilfred. Let's see if we can get something going. Daniel James used to be one of my favorite players on United. Underappreciated over there. Ends up going to Leeds and ends up staying at Leeds as well. So interesting move from him. I'm very glad he's playing well. I'm very happy for him, but hopefully we can utilize his ability because I want him and Wilfred to be our guys on the wing. I feel like that is going to be the future of our wing. I know we have guys like Solomon who we just signed for a hefty price, but I feel like I want Daniel James and Wilfred to be our top guys, and we do end up scoring. Let's go. That is our guy. We were just talking about him. What an absolute legend. Look at that. Getting our very first goal with the squad. Do you guys like these jerseys for this season? I don't know how I feel about them. I feel like the Red Bull colors look really weird with the blue and the yellow. I feel like I know they need the sponsorship, but Should have been something that at least they can switch the colors down. Even if it's just the Red Bull logo, but blue and green. I mean, sorry, blue and yellow. That would be way better. I don't know if I like the jerseys. That's why I ordered this jersey instead. This jersey is actually just arrived. That's why I've been postponing this rebuild for so long. This is the retro, I don't know what year, but something 1900s, and it's a really nice kit, honestly. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to give away that kit for this giveaway if this video gets to 100 likes, because I can choose whatever kit you guys want. So let me know in the comments what kits you guys want. Let's see if we can get another goal right here, though. This is our striker guy. Oh, I thought he was going to dive a little bit sooner. And we scored 2-0. Okay. That is a great start to this match right here. This is huge. This is huge because if you guys don't know, once you get promoted to the Premier League, I'm pretty sure you get a bonus of 100 million. I'm pretty sure. I cannot remember the exact amount, but I'm pretty sure you get a bonus of 100 million as soon as you get promoted from the Championship to the Prem to help you stay in the Prem, which is absolutely crazy. So we're going to have a huge bonus in transfer next season, because at this season, we started out with 25 million, which is not nearly as much as 100 million, of course. It's 4 times as much as we'll start with in the Championship. And so we're going to be able to sign some mega players next season. Do I sign 1 player? Do I sign 2 players? I don't know if we're going to sign a lot of players next season. Maybe I'll spend the entire budget on like 1 superstar player. Like, I don't know, like a Lamine Yamal. That would be crazy if he goes to Leeds. Oh my gosh, I'd be so hyped. Let's see if we can get a nice goal, though. Oh my gosh, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. We've been dominating this game, though. I know Portsmouth is not the best team of all time. I'm actually planning on rebuilding them. So let me know in the comments if you guys want to see that. Make sure you guys are commenting your rebuild ideas, because a lot of you guys have been commenting rebuild Leeds, rebuild Leeds, rebuild Leeds, and that is one of the reasons why I did. So make sure you guys are commenting, because I actually have a list with all the comments that you guys make, and the more comments of a certain team that happens, the higher on the list it goes, and the sooner that I'll rebuild them. So Leeds United was one of my most requested teams. I was just waiting for the jersey to arrive, and now it's here. Now we get to rebuild one of my favorite teams of all time in the English League. So hopefully we end up having a good rebuild and making them win the Prem. It's gonna be super difficult, because by the time we have an opportunity to win the Prem, not just make it to the Prem, these other teams like Man City and stuff are going to have those like mega wonder kids that go up to like 99 overall. So being able to beat them in the simulations is going to be super difficult, but I feel like maybe we can do that in 5 seasons. I'm guessing 5 seasons is how many seasons we need to win the Prem, because I feel like this season we'll have a chance to get promoted. I feel like we will get promoted in this season. If not, we'll play the promotional playoffs, and then we should be able to get promoted through that. We're not going to lose any of those games, but and then next season we'll have a chance in the Prem. We'll sign 1 or 2 players, get a little bit better, then get a little bit better, and then a little bit better, and then eventually win the league. It's gonna be so difficult, though. So difficult. I feel like we're up 2-0, and I'm like, you know what? I want to trust in the squad and see how good the squad also does on sim. Can we keep a lead? We can. 2-1. Okay, so a little bit worrying that we didn't get any more goals in the second half, but not bad. We ended up winning 2-1 in our very first match. Now we can head all the way to June 29th, and we'll see how we do. Season is over, and we've won the league in our very first season. Very close race with Burnley, though. We were almost going to lose the first place. I mean, we've still been promoted, but still. Amazing. We got automatic promotion. That is awesome. We don't have to worry about any playoff runs or anything like that. We know that sometimes, you know, that can be a bad thing, but not a bad season. Definitely not a bad season. As you can see, 3 player contracts are expiring, but it's a bunch of our youth players that I was like, they're way too low overall. They're not going to get any higher, so we'll let them go. In terms of the squad, we now are into the second season. This is where things get interesting, because now we can make some big signings. We have a huge budget most likely now. We have an opportunity to sign star players. We can fix the team as a whole. Like, if we want to, we can spread the 100 million and just get better players in each position, like a little bit better. But I feel like the squad that we're in is really solid now. So I just got to choose a certain position I want that future megastar in, and I feel like that's what I'm going to be going for here. We have a couple of other guys that are leaving, which is unfortunate. But for the most part, we're keeping pretty much all of our main players. In terms of our guys, okay, Wilfred on the left side is up to a 78, but Solomon's up to a 79, so I might actually, no, I'll keep him on the bench. Clearly, he's had a fantastic season on the bench. Oh, I forgot to show you guys the player stats, but that's totally fine. It was the first season. It was just a simming season anyway. It was just to see what would happen in real life, or what might happen in real life. In terms of our squad, we need to figure out a position that we're going to improve, and I think it's our left back position. We have our guy right here, but he's 28 years old. I think it is time for him to go. He actually used to be one of my favorite players on the wing back in these type of divisions, but I don't know. I feel like it's time for him to go. We have Schmidt on the bench, who is 25 years old. So 3 years younger, almost just as good as this guy right here. The good thing is though, now we have an opportunity to have even more subs on the bench. So now we can utilize a lot more of our players. We have guys like Byram, who's good, but 31 years old. Most likely he will go. We have another Cam, which is good. At least we can start utilizing some of our Cam guys. Joseph is up to 72. Do I get rid of Bamford? He's 31 years old at the point in the game. I might have to, but he's one of my favorite players on the squad. I might have to. We have a great backup center back though, a 24-year-old guy. One thing is, we could put one of these center backs on the bench, and that could make the squad even better. I think that is something that we could potentially do, just because we have some good center backs, but we could get rid of 1 or 2 of them for sure. We could use a backup midfielder as well. We have a guy like Sam Greenwood, who is good, but we already have good left wingers on here. Yes, he's 23, so he could be a guy that could come onto the field for us. But, I don't know. I feel like maybe not. Schmidt, I'm actually going to take him off for now. I'm going to put on Christensen just to be our starting right back opportunity. And Schmidt might actually come on for one of these other guys. Maybe, yeah, you know what? I'm going to take him off, put on a left back. That way we have a backup right back, center back, and left back. And then we're going to have 2 backup midfielders. And the other midfielder I'm looking for, I don't really see anybody amazing, honestly. I could put Harrison. He can play Cam, I guess. Greenwood can play Cam as well. But both of those guys, I don't know. I feel like we have better guys. We have Solomon on here. And we have Ramazzini, who's good. 24 years old. Great pace. I feel like I'll keep him on over Sam Greenwood. Greenwood's good, but he's not ready to play that center attacking midfielder position yet. So I feel like I'll keep him there. In terms of midfielder, yeah, we definitely need a backup midfielder. Or do we try to improve our midfielder position this season? Aronson is good. He's 24 years old. He's going to progress a little bit. I'm going to keep him as our starting guy. Then we have Gruev on the center defensive mid. 25 years old. Gonna keep him as well. But Tanaka, do I have him play off the bench? He's fantastic in real life, but he could be playing off the bench and be an amazing super sub for us. A young superstar, a young super sub that's going to come in and develop, and then we get a fantastic midfielder. That could be a shout. That could be a shout for sure. Left back is definitely something I am going to look to improve, so I'm going to put a random player for now. Let's just put this dude right here. And Firpo, unfortunately, has to go. So we're going to sell Firpo. We're going to sell Bamford. Unfortunately, I want him to go to a squad where he's going to have some playing time. My favorite, or used to be my favorite player on the squad. Now, unfortunately, he's getting to that age where I got to let him leave. I have to. We have a young star in Joseph that is going to be our backup guy. Almost just as good as Bamford right now. So might as well sell him. Ronan's going to go too as well. Another player, 27 years old. He's in the peak of his career. But him, Byram, Firpo and Bamford are all going to go just because they're kind of wasting their talents here. We have a good bench. We don't need them for now. But we have a big budget to pick up a CDM and pick up a left back. Those are going to be the 2 improvements for this season. Yes, if we have more budget, we'll try to pick up a center back. But before that, CDM left back. And the player we pick up is Arthur Vermeer. I'm sure you guys have heard his name if you guys play FC25 career mode a lot. This is one of the best CDM1 kids in the entire game. A player that comes in at 20 years old. I believe he's almost 78 overall already. So a fantastic player to already come into our squad. He's going to be one of the highest overall players on our squad already. And he's 20 years old and is guaranteed to go up to at least an 85 overall. A fantastic player that could be that core of that midfield for sure. He's a guy that's going to come in and help us at least avoid relegation in this first season. A fantastic player that we get for a decently okay price. For 32.5 million for a guy that can go up to an 85, that's not bad. That's going to be an amazing investment for us considering he can go up to that 100 million or 80 to 90 million level. So that's fantastic. Now he is going to be our center defensive mid. Now we have that position sorted. The next position that we have to sort is our left back position. This is a difficult one. Let's see if we can find somebody. I don't really know who we want to sign here. We have made yet another signing, and this time it is somebody that you probably know. He plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He is their left back, Uriel Hato, a 19-year-old megastar, and I wasn't originally going to sign him because I was like, it's a little bit unrealistic for them to sign him first year back in the Prem, but it is a guy that was transfer listed. So I was like, oh, perfect. We are going to pick him up for under 40 million, which is an amazing deal considering the fact that this is a guy that plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He was there during their invincible season. He is a fantastic young left back that can play center back. A great player, a super versatile player, one that can come in and turn into an over 85 overall player. Such a good player to have on the squad. We get him for 32 million, which in my opinion, that's a steal. And it leaves us with 9 million still in budget, which is not bad. We can do something with that 9 million for sure if we want to. But I feel like for now, the squad is good until we start selling some players. As soon as we start selling some players, I might be looking to replace them. And specifically in the center back position, I might be looking to put one of these two guys on the bench. It's probably going to be this guy right here on the bench, and then getting rid of, or maybe selling one of these two guys right here, because we have a 24-year-old that's almost just as good sitting on the bench right now. Unfortunately, one thing that I am going to do as well is actually put Wilfred on the right side. That way he can play the position that he's used to. Solomon's going to be on the left side, and then Daniel James is going to be the super sub for Wilfred right here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because Daniel James did not progress at all last season. He ended up staying at the 76 overall. He's 27. He's probably hit his peak in his career in terms of overall wise in the game. So I'm like, you know what? Let's leave him on the bench. Maybe he can develop a little bit being a super sub. And then we obviously have a guy, Wilfred, being a starter. And Wilfred's stamina is decently good, I believe. But definitely a guy that could use to be subbed out every once in a while for sure. Yeah, he has 76 stamina, so not the best in terms of stamina, unlike Arthur Vermeer, who has 90 stamina. This guy can play 90 minutes easily, for sure. This guy is going to be such a stud for us. But yeah, the squad is looking a lot better for this season. I feel like we're going to have a fantastic season, maybe finishing just above relegation, which for us would be very solid. As long as we don't get relegated, we'll have another around 100 million for next season to be able to use. Melier actually went up to a 79, so that's good. So he's progressed a little bit. Hopefully he goes up to that 81, 82, because I want to keep him for the entirety of this rebuild. He's my favorite player on Leeds right now. So I do want to make sure that we can keep him for the entire rebuild. But we have to sim and start selling players if we're going to be able to have enough budget to be able to pick up at least 1 or 2 more guys. And our very first sale, unfortunately, is our guy, Patrick Bamford. So unfortunate. This guy I wanted to keep on the squad, but I didn't realize that our youth guy would develop so much. We get him for an A price, and he goes, I believe it was to Hull City, which is an amazing place for him to go to. It's a place where he can start once again, end his career as a starter, which is, personally, I think that's an amazing thing for him. He is reaching that age where he's already past the peak of his career. Yes, he is still a solid player, but he needs to be on that championship or below level team, I think, in my opinion. As soon as Leeds makes the Prem, which is hopefully soon, I really hope it is soon, I think he will have to play off the bench, or move to a squad that is a little bit lower division if he wants more playing time. So that's unfortunate, but it is something that we have to do. We also sell our backup keeper here, which is a big sale for us. Gives us $1 million extra in budget. And then Sam Byram, I believe, is going to be the last guy we're trying to sell. Oh no, Firpo is another guy that we are going to sell. So we'll have 2 more guys that we're going to sell, and then hopefully we'll have enough to just pick up a backup center back. I am going to try to transfer list maybe one of our center backs, because we just picked up an extra 12.7 million. So that is a lot of money. I think we're going to be able to get to a point where we can have enough funds to pick up an amazing center back to come in and replace one of these guys right here. Both of these guys are top 2 talents. Actually, you know what? Do I just keep both of these guys and save the transfer budget for next season? I feel like I could, because all these guys are under 26. They're all so talented. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to stick with the squad. I'm going to keep it a little bit more realistic, and I'm going to stick with the squad for now. I'm going to sell, obviously, Firpo and stuff, but I'm not going to sign anybody else. I feel like for this season, we're good. So I'm just going to sim till all the way till the end of the season as soon as we sell our guy Firpo right here, which should be now, I assume. Oh, no, it's not yet. Who is this? Oh, okay, Sam Byram actually goes to Southampton for 1.95 million. That's not bad. I feel like he fits their squad dynamic pretty nicely. Their squad dynamic is very similar to ours in terms of caliber of players and things like that. So not bad in terms of a signing for him. I assume this is Firpo that's leaving, and it is. And he is going to go for how much again? Okay, 6.5 million. That's not bad to Crystal Palace, to a team that could use some more players, especially of his caliber. He's a top caliber player, but one that didn't fit the squad. But now, we're at a point in the game where we just got to sim the entire season. This is going to be a longer rebuild, so we got to make sure that we just speed through all of these seasons that are unnecessary. This is pure development as a season. We're just going to sim all the way there, and hopefully we have a better season this season and end up top half of the Prem. That would be amazing. I doubt it, but that would be awesome. And then we'll hopefully find some great success later on in the season, and maybe, hopefully, avoid relegation. We cannot be relegated. Okay, Season 2 is over, and we have ended up avoiding relegation. We are very lucky that we're only 6 points away from relegation. We ended up finishing 15th, so that's not horrible, considering it was a pretty close race up to the top 10. So not bad in terms of result. Not the best result, of course, but I didn't expect us to be able to finish positively in terms of wins and losses. So not the worst season overall. It was purely a development season, and the fact that we didn't get relegated, that is exactly what we wanted in the first place. I did look every once in a while, and I did think we actually reached pretty far. Yeah, we reached the semifinals of the FA Cup, which is crazy, and the semifinals of the Carabao Cup. So that's interesting as well. I didn't realize that we finished semifinals on both of those. Those could have been potential trophies right there, but unfortunately we got knocked out right before we reached the finals. And now we are hopping into this 3rd season. What are we gonna do? I don't know. I don't really know what we want to do in this season. There are some changes we clearly have to make to be able to take that next step in the league, and I think it has to be picking up a superstar. I think it's a true superstar now. I know I'm going to try to keep it as realistic as possible, but at this point, I am the manager, so I have to be able to do what I would do in real life. And in real life, if I had a $70 million budget, I would spend it all on one player. I would spend $50 million on one player and $20 million on re-signing contracts. So that's personally how I would do it as a manager. And last season, we picked up exactly who I would pick up in real life. And this season, I think we're going to do the same. Let's take a look at the squad, though. In terms of the squad, okay, we have our striker. This immediately pops out to me as the position of need. We have a 78 overall, but he's 26 years old, and so far he hasn't really progressed enough to be able to be that superstar guy. It might be the position that we go for. Center attacking mid. Once again, a position, we're not even 80 overall, so could be progressing a little bit faster, but it is a guy that's 25 years old, so not the worst. Solomon on the left has been progressing well, so shout out to the person that did request this for me. He has been doing amazing on the left mid side. Then we have our two CDMs. Both CDMs have been progressing decently well. Gruev actually has a -1 for some reason. Oh, it's because his morale is unhappy. That's unfortunate, but +4 physical is pretty solid. Vermin is up to an 81. Fantastic for him. Ginotto is up to a 79 overall, which isn't bad considering he's only 22, but I do need him to progress a little bit faster. Right back, our right back didn't progress as much as I thought he would. He's 25 years old and isn't the best player of all time. I might have to put on Christensen for this season just because he is the better player, but because he's 25, I'll leave him on for now. Our two center backs both are decently solid. I probably do need to pick up one of these guys. Sorry, have to be sold. Or have to be put onto the bench, because then we can sell our guy right here and then pick up an amazing center back, because I feel like defensively, that is where our team is kind of struggling. Offensively, it's not that bad. We have a good striker. I didn't show you guys the player stats again. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sick right now. I can't even think. So I forgot to show you guys the player stats once again. But in terms of this season, we have our two center backs who are needing to come off the bench. I think it's time that one of these guys come off the bench, and it's probably going to be our lower overall player in the 26-year-old. He most likely will come off the bench for us, and then we'll sell our veteran center back from the bench, put some random person on there for now, and then we'll pick up a great center back. I'm actually going to put a random person there for now, so that way it shows a, yeah, -20. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to figure out that center back position, and I feel like the striker position is another one we have to work on. Joseph is a great backup to have, so I think we actually have to sell our guy right here. It's unfortunate because I really like him in real life, but Prem caliber striker, I just don't think so. I don't think so. As much as I like him in real life and I think he's a great player, unfortunately, I think we need to get a striker. I think that needs to be the #1 priority, getting a striker for the future, because in a few seasons, these strikers are going to be inflated to a price which is ridiculous and that we cannot afford. So we need to pick up a striker and a center back. That needs to be the two signings of the season, and then we're going to sell our guys down here in Pirou and our other center back right here, and then we'll hopefully have enough money to be able to pick up a superstar striker, and then also, of course, the superstar center back. Okay, the next player we signed is somebody you must have heard of. He is the talk of the town when it comes to a young center back, and it is Pau Cubarsí, a young Barcelona center back, a 19-year-old at this point in the game, a fantastic center back to bring onto the squad. He is a guy that is going to be a starter for us and is going to develop past that 85 overall mark easily. A fantastic player, but the reason why I picked him up, and I'm like, you know what, this is kind of realistic, is because Barcelona already sold him in this rebuild. He already sold him to another team last season. And so we're actually picking him up from FC Lorient, which is a lower division team. Not lower division team, but a lower caliber team, around the same ability as us in terms of squad ability. So I do think it could be realistic if he does end up going to that squad and then coming to us. And as you guys can see, this is the striker I want to pick up. I am sure you guys have heard of this dude. Every single year in FIFA for the past like 3 to 4 years, this guy has been known as the Wonder Kid striker. Recently though, he has fallen off because he hasn't been up to that standard that we all thought he was going to be. But he is going to be the striker I will pick up as soon as I have a big enough budget to be able to do so. Because as of right now, I'm pretty sure I'm losing. Oh, I don't have the biggest budget in the world. Yeah, I'm at 25 million. So not the best because Pau Cubarsí was so expensive, but it's fine. We get an amazing player in Pau Cubarsí, of course, and we have the opportunity to sell a few of these guys and make a big profit. Okay, we made an interesting deal. We got an offer for one of our players, but it was a swap deal offer. Normally, I reject those instantly, but this time was a little bit different because this time they offered us a 20-year-old, 75 overall center attacking midfielder. And I looked at my squad and I was like, you know what? We could use him as a backup player. We have a 73 overall there, but this also gives us an extra 5 million in budget. And I was like, you know what? It is a decent squad. You guys have been asking me to accept these swap offers a little bit more often, but they're so rare in real life that I don't like to accept them. But this allows us to put this 23-year-old or Tanaka on the reserves. And do I want to sell one of these guys? Because we do need a little bit more funds to be able to pick up somebody amazing. Right now, we are struggling to get those funds, and I don't think we're going to have enough to be able to sign Yusafa. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. So do I put one of these guys up here? This guy can play cam, this guy can play cam, so nobody can really play that CDM position. So I feel like for now, I have to sell our guy right here, the younger player, the 73 overall guy. I know it's going to get us less funds than selling our 80 overall guy, but I feel like I got to sell this guy instead. Jack Harrison is gone from the squad for 9.5 million. This is actually a pretty decent signing because he goes to a squad which, once again, could utilize him a lot more. One issue is, our keeper, my favorite player, has been asked, or has asked us to let him go. No, I'm not letting him go. You want to stay? I mean, you don't want to play? Whatever. You can play on, you can sit on the reserves for the rest of your career. No way am I letting you go. This is one of my favorite players. No chance. He is going to play for us every single season, at least until his contract runs up, and then I will sell him. But his contract's not done, so he will be on this squad. He's such a good player. I need him to stay on the squad. Who is that? I cannot tell who that is. Oh, okay. Maximilian right here is gone for 16.5 million to Newcastle. Interesting spot for him. I mean, he does fit that center back style that they do tend to play at Newcastle, so not a bad fit for him in terms of his release or whatever. And one thing that I did though is actually end up putting Tanaka instead of our young guy on the transfer market. And the reason why I did this is because Tanaka's worth up to 28 million. So I'm like, you know what? Let's try to get that much because we need that amount right now. We need those funds. We can't really pick up a good striker unless we get those funds. And we have a decently young backup for our center midfielders anyway. So it's not the worst thing to have that position there. One thing that I do need to get is probably a backup midfielder instead of Tanaka, because we have him. But other than that, we don't have anybody that can play the CDM position. So we might have to pick up like a super cheap player as soon as we finish getting that striker position sorted out. But after that, we should be okay. Hopefully, we have enough funds from this Tanaka offer, and then we end up having a good season. And he does end up going, Tanaka ends up going for 28.3 million. That is a fantastic deal. I believe his max was 27. So we got him for even better than his max deal. Yeah. That's crazy. Oh no, his max was 30, but that's a fantastic deal for a guy that was sitting on our bench last season. Amazing sale. Yes, I know we still have to figure out that backup position for him, because as you guys can see, nobody can really play the CDM position on our squad when it comes to backup guys. So we do have to find a guy that can play that position, unless you want to take off this guy and put on Crew. Crew's not bad. He's young. He's 20 years old. He could play that center defensive mid for us eventually. Or do we put on Gabby right here? I feel like that's actually not a bad backup to have. I want to keep it a little bit more realistic and keep as many players from our original squad as possible. So that's not bad. That's definitely not bad. But striker position is here. Who do we pick up? Do we pick up Yusafa? I don't know, because how much budget do we have right here? 80 million. Okay, let's find the best player possible. We're going to spend all 80 million on this striker because we need to find somebody that's going to be here for a very long time. The next player we're bringing in is my personal... one of my favorite personal striker wonder kids. He is originally from Bayern Munich, but he wasn't. I don't think we actually got him from Bayern. It is Tell, and I'm sure you guys have heard of this guy. He is playing for Bayern Munich every once in a while. He does come on as a rotational type of player, sometimes even a starter. He is a fantastic player. He is a player that comes in at 90 speed as a striker, goes up to an 88 overall, and we got him from Aston Villa for 68.6 million. So this is a player that goes up to 88 overall. So he's going to be valued at 150 to 160 million. So we're almost going to double our money when it comes to, or we're going to over double our money when it comes to reselling him later on into the rebuild. And as you can see, I was choosing from 3 or 4 players, and the rest of the players just, I didn't feel like they were true franchise players. This is a franchise player. This is a guy that will be selling a lot of jerseys for us, for sure, because he's a guy that's going to go up to that 88, 89 overall mark. Him, Vermeer, and Kubarsi are going to be the future of our squad. Same thing with Hatta right here. The rest of these guys are all changeable. Maybe Wilfred is another one of those franchise type of players. Solomon is a solid player, but 27 already, kind of peaking his career. But now, we can sim the entire season. I think that the squad is ready for another run at the Premier League, and I hope that this season we have a little bit more luck when it comes to our success. This season is over and we finished 7th, so way better than I thought we would. We finished in the top 10, which is amazing. But actually, we're very close to dropping down all the way to maybe even like 14th or 15th. It was a very close race to get into this top, to top 5, really, honestly. So that's good, but a little bit scary because our next season could be a lot worse than this season if we don't improve a lot. In terms of the league leader, Arsenal dominated, but after that, it was a very close race. It was definitely a very close race. Chelsea was right behind them, but other than that, very close race. Like, we were close to finishing in the top 4. That's insane. That is very good. We were like only 12 points away from finishing in the top 4, which is a lot of points, but it's doable. It definitely is doable. So we got us in this season. I mean, we're going to oh, there we go. I almost forgot once again to show you guys the player stats. Let's see the top goal scorers. Okay, Tell, 19 and 38, almost league top goal scorer, which is fantastic from him. I doubt there's any other players on here, and there isn't. In terms of top assisters, Tell is also there, 9 and 38, so he had a bunch of assists this season. That's fantastic from him. And we have Solomon, 5 and 36, and Aronson also 5 and 34. Aronson might be a player that I do have to get rid of though. Leeds, oh, I mean our keeper, sorry, got 7 and 38 in terms of clean sheets. That's not bad considering he is obviously on a team that shouldn't be having a lot of clean sheets. In terms of yellow cards, Wilfred got 6, which is a lot. It is a lot, but wingers tend to get a lot, so it isn't the worst situation. In terms of next season, we have some big things we have to do. Let's see how we did in the cups. Yeah, nothing really in the cups. Our last season seemed to have done a lot better in terms of cups, finishing in the semifinals of both FA Cup and Carabao Cup. But now we are into, I think this is the 4th season now. And we have some things we have to do. We got to improve a lot because we want to hit that top 4. We don't have to worry about Champions League. We don't have to worry about any of that. All we're worrying about is the Premier League. But still, we have to make some big transfers to improve the squad so that this season we end up hopefully finishing in the top 4 and then we work our way slowly to the top. Because if we finish in the top 4, I believe we get even more money from the league. So we'll have a bigger budget to start the next season, and then we'll be able to do some crazy stuff. Let's see how much money we got by placing 7th. So still 70 million, sorry, which is not the most, but it's okay. Let's see how we're doing in terms of our squad. Okay, Tell's up to an 84, but he's 100% going to be our striker. In terms of our 3 midfielders, Vermin has been phenomenal for us. 22 years old, progressed up to an 84. Our Cam has to go by the end of this season. He has to go. We even have our youth kid on the bench that's better than him, honestly. Then we have our CDM right here, who's also a guy that could go or play off the bench. Solomon, unfortunately, he might have to go at the end of the season. Wilfred didn't progress nearly as much as I wanted him to, so that's not good. In terms of our defense is still slacking. Kubarsi and Hato are kind of our only good players. Ampadu is good, but 26 years old, not even 80 overall yet. It's kind of worrying. Same thing with our right back. He's still not that good, so I might have to worry about getting somebody else in that position. Because we're now into the new season, I want to switch the formation to finally have a 4-3-3 attack. You know, I like to do this a lot towards the end of rebuilds because for me, you have to be a very top tier team to pull off this tactic because this is a tactic that has a lot of holes. It definitely has a lot of holes when you're playing. It is one that you need individual talents to be excellent. Otherwise, you might make some major mistakes. So what we're going to do here in terms of the players, we're going to have Playmaker on the left, Box to Box on the right. We're actually going to put Vermin on the left though. Both of our defenders, once again, ball playing defender this time, and then both of our attacks are also attacking wingback. This works a lot better on this formation than it did in last formation when you have the attacking wingback, because let me show you guys, as soon as you do it with the ball, now everything is pushed up past the half. And so we have to make sure that Kubarsi and Ampadu are both amazing players. Otherwise, we can have a lot of troubles when it comes to conceding goals because we only have one player in the midfield that really comes back, and it is our box-to-box guy. Everybody else stays up. And our 2 wingers have to be fast enough to be able to run back, so I might have to pick up a better right back for this season to make sure that this tactic ends up working. Otherwise, we're going to have some issues when it comes to this season. Now, let's check out the squad, though. Vermin is going to move to the right side. I'm going to start developing him as a center mid instead of a CDM to make sure that he can play that position very soon. And we're going to make sure that we do pick up a guy instead of Grav right here. We have decent players on the bench, so he's not going to go on the bench. I'm actually going to sell him to make sure we can actually make a little bit of money here because we are going to need the funds for this, and we are going to need a top caliber player to play the CDM position for us to make sure that we can have a playmaking for Tal, Solomon, and Wilfred on the right side. In terms of our defenders, do we put our 26-year-old on the bench now and get rid of our 27-year-old? That could be something that we do, but I feel like the right back position is what we're actually going to worry about right now. I feel like we get rid of Christensen and we get an amazing right back. I know I'm working as fast as, like, unrealistically fast in terms of selling players and signing players, but Come on, we got to win the league, and this is how I personally build the team for sure. These are all amazing signings that I would make in real life if I possibly could. So, yeah, I feel like it is realistic in that sense. Right back, though, and CDM is, or regular center mid, is going to be our 2 positions that we need for sure. So, we got to go pick those up. Yes, our cam position is one that is very weak as well, so that is another position that I do want to pick up. But I don't know if we're going to have the funds to be able to pick up all 3 of those guys. We have now gotten the right back position out of the way and actually signed a youth player from Liverpool. And the reason why I did this is because a lot of you guys have been commenting, sign youth players, sign youth players, sign youth players, makes it more realistic. So I'm like, you know what, let's sign a youth player. It is around the 3rd or 4th season, I believe, as of right now. Yeah, so it is the 4th season, so we're at a point where a lot of the youth players would be brought up to able to play first team football for a lot of teams. And we bring in Max Guerra, who is a good player, 17.2 million for a guy that comes in at the right back position and will be very solid for us. He's super fast. And he's 19 years old. 88 pace, 78 overall. As you can see, I have a bunch of options for other positions right there. But he is going to come in and be our right back. Hopefully, he'll start developing, and hopefully, he'll end up being like a mega wonder kid. But we'll see. Now, we have to figure out the center attacking mid and the center mid position. I wanted to also get rid of our center attacking mid here just because we've given so many opportunities to this dude. But every single time he lets us down, every season he barely progresses, so I got to get rid of him, unfortunately. Yes, I could play him on the bench, but he can't play that center mid role, which I need a backup for, which this guy is. So that's unfortunate for us, but you know what? It's totally fine. And we just need to find the center attacking mid and the center mid that we are going to put into the squad. Okay, so we picked up another player, and this time it is our center attacking midfielder, and it is Ethan Nwaneri. And this is a guy that I believe he was a youth kid in Arsenal. He is in real life right now, I believe, or Liverpool. I cannot remember which of the two it is. And he is a good player. He is a solid player. He comes in at 20 years old. Great pace, great stats overall. He's not really bad at anything except for defending. So I'm like, you know what? Let's pick him up. Let's put him in as our center attacking mid. Yes, he's lower overall than our previous center attacking mid, but this is a guy that's 20 years old. He has 6 years to catch up. Only 4 overalls, which I definitely think he will do. So that's really good for him. He's going to come into the squad and be our now new center attacking mid to play that shadow striker role. Hopefully, he can do that for us. As of right now, we are getting some offers for a lot of these players that do want to leave. Once again, our keeper still wants to leave. I'm going to continue rejecting offers. Unfortunately, I cannot let him leave. He is one of my favorite players. I don't know why he wants to leave. Come on, man. When your coach really likes you as a player, you got to make sure that you stay on the squad. So I don't know why he really wants to leave for us, especially when we are in the Prem and we're performing decently well. So that's interesting from him. I'm actually very surprised that he does want to leave, but I'm like, you know what? His contract ends next season, so at next season I'll sell him if we don't end up winning the Prem, which hopefully we do, but that's going to be very difficult. We do end up selling Jaden right here to Linnaeus, which isn't a bad squad for him to go. He actually looks like he plays for Linnaeus. I don't know why. He just gives me that vibe that he plays for Linnaeus, so that's a really good signing for him. We do have 2 accepted offers, so we have to make a decision right here. Oh, Lewis Miley, 50 million. Wow. Okay, do we even have the budget for that? I doubt we have the budget for that. Yeah, 41 million. Ooh, that's not good. Do we wait a little bit and try to sign Lewis Miley? Because Lewis Miley is a fantastic player. So we could try to sign him. We have an offer. We're about to get 27 million extra. And then we should get around another 10. So if I could stall this offer or negotiate it to also get or to give them one of my players, that could be good. We could try to swap one of our guys. I think it was, who was I going to sign here? Uh-oh, I cannot remember. Oh, Aronson. If I give him Aronson, and then I give him, let's give him 20 million more. Let's do that. Oh, okay, so they're willing. Yeah, 100%. We're going to sell him anyway. 100%. That saves us a lot of money in terms of finances. That allows us to get the deal through before we sell him, which we might sell him for less than that. So that's a fantastic signing for us. We are going to pick up Lewis Miley, one of my favorite midfielders in the entire game. He plays for Newcastle at the moment in this game. And he's a great player. He's a great player that goes up decently high. I believe he goes up to an 86. So that's pretty good. That's world-class level. That is definitely Prem championship level for sure. So a guy that's going to be on our squad for a while, and we get him for decently cheap. And yeah, so for 23 million plus our player, we get a guy for 70k wages in Lewis Miley, a youngster player. I'm going to show you guys his stats right here. He's not the fastest player, but he is a very well-rounded player. He's a player that can come in and definitely do some stuff for us. He is going to be the guy. I was deciding between him and this guy. This guy's from Latium, and he's 22 years old. He's also very good, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with Lewis Miley. He is a guy that you might actually know. And so I'm like, you know what? Let's keep it a little bit more realistic. Lewis Miley is a player that will be targeted by big clubs very soon. Trust me. Trust me. This guy is a player of the future for sure. So he's going to come into our squad, and the squad is now complete for this season. Yes, our center back position right here is kind of a weakness, but we'll see if he ends up progressing. If he doesn't, we'll end up selling him next season or putting him on the bench, but that's okay. In terms of our front three, all of them are amazing. Solomon needs to get a little bit better for sure. Wilfred needs to start progressing a little bit more as well. But you know what? A great squad right now. And now we're just going to sim a little bit. We have a couple more guys we have to sell, and then we'll sim this 4th season. And we have sold our final player on the transfer list, and it is our guy Ilya right here. He's going to Spurs for 23.4 million. So, do I see him playing for Spurs in the future? Maybe. Definitely if we end up getting promoted to the Premier League, so I could see something like that happening. And it allows us to have a much bigger budget for next season. We're not going to use that budget for this season, but actually maybe we need to pick up a backup goalkeeper. I don't know. I feel like we do, because Melia is actually going to be gone at the end of the season. So we have to pick up somebody that can maybe progress and be either a backup or our permanent keeper starting next season. So I'm going to try to find somebody that's young and that's talented, and then I'll see you guys when I find somebody good. And the keeper that we actually picked up is a guy that personally, best wonder kid to sign if you have a budget. 100% best wonder kid keeper to sign if you have a budget. He is a guy, Rome Jaden Owusu. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Fantastic player. I've used him in one of my older rebuilds, and I remember him going up to at least an 85 overall. So he's a fantastic player that's going to come into the squad. Yeah, his name is Rome Jaden Owusu Aduru. That is a very long name. He's really got to fix that when he gets famous, man, because like, just go with Rome Owusu or something. That way people can actually remember you, because that is a very long name. But you know what? He's going to come in and be our backup keeper. He's going to start next season as soon as our keeper leaves, because once again, unfortunately, he wants to leave at the end of the season. So that's okay. I mean, it's not the worst situation, but now we are going to sim this entire season. Hopefully we get closer to winning the league. We'll see. I mean, it's a very iffy situation just because we are at a point where last season was so close that we might do a lot worse than we did last season. So we have to see what's going to happen this season. Hopefully we end up doing a little bit better, but we'll see. I'll see you guys there. Okay, so we simmed a lot, and honestly, we made it to the Carabao Cup final, which I was very surprised at, but we have to beat Man City, which is going to be insanely difficult. Let's hop into the game, and then I'll explain what's been happening. So basically, we've been simming, and we've been doing horribly. Like, I think we're just avoiding relegation right now, if not being relegated. So this is a horrible season for us, but we have a chance to win the Carabao Cup, which is crazy. I have no idea how we're playing so well in the trophy matches, but playing bad in season. I think it's because of injuries, because I looked up every once in a while, and I saw that we had injuries a lot this season. So I was like, that must be hindering our success, because going from 7th place to barely finishing, barely avoiding relegation is definitely for a different reason, and it must be for the insane amount of injuries we've been having this season. So we have to keep that in mind for next season. Hopefully we do avoid relegation, otherwise we're going to be in a really tricky spot, but I think we will, especially because now our full squad is back. We have a full healthy squad right now, and everybody seems to be playing really nicely. Speaking of, we might have a chance to shoot right here. That reflected really weirdly, or that deflected, sorry, really weirdly. I cannot talk today. Oh my gosh, guys, sorry, I'm so sick. Let's see if we can, ooh, this should be cool. Oh no, no, how did we not score that? Oh my gosh, I was getting ready to celebrate. You gotta be kidding. I was literally getting ready to celebrate. I'm like, let's go. Speaking of, I just did a Man City rebuild, so go check that out on my channel if it is out. I think it will be out, because I think it's yesterday's video, and then today should be, and then today's Leeds. So yeah, I have a weird schedule in terms of videos, so I never even know what video I'm posting. Let's see if we can get something going. Ooh, nice little pass right there. Do we have the speed? No. But yeah, I did a Manchester City rebuild, so I know that the team is very strong, but I also know that there are some weaknesses, especially when it comes to the center backs, because their pace is not very good. So I should be able to run past pretty much all the center backs, especially with guys like Ginotto and stuff like that. Ginotto, sorry. I don't know how to actually pronounce his name. I've been a fan of the squad for a while, and I know this guy, and he is one of my favorite players to watch. But a lot of the times I'm filming while I'm watching, like I'll just have the TV on, and so I don't really hear the commentators. So I never really know what the young players' names are. So let me know in the comments how to pronounce his name, or if I'm saying it right. Let me know. That seemed to be offside, and that's a little bit worrying, because that could have been a major chance for them. But honestly, we should be up 1-0. We should definitely be up 1-0. Okay, it's halftime, and so far they've been dominant. I'm not gonna lie, we haven't had any chances since our post missed. So that's not really good. I do want to make some subs right here, and one of them is probably going to be Solomon off for Daniel James right here. That way Daniel James can come on. He is right-footed, so I do want to keep him on the left side. I do like to keep the opposite foot, but I am going to switch these two guys right here to make sure that Wilfred can actually get the outside and then go in for a header here, because we are going to be playing on Daniel James's side. So he's going to be doing a lot of the crosses rather than receiving a lot of the crosses. So we have to make sure that we have a taller guy. I mean, they're both really short. Oh, they're the same height? Really? I thought Wilfred was at least 2 or 3 inches taller. But no, they're the same height. Never mind. But in terms of other subs, I don't think anybody else needs to come on. Uh-oh, they have a chance here. Oh, great save by our keeper right there. They had a good chance. Haaland did a nice shot on net, but we do end up saving it. Daniel James has not been playing well, though. I honestly shouldn't have taken off my winger. Daniel James has not been playing well. He's supposed to be our super sub type of guy. I mean, he was our starter in our first season, so he should be good, but he is just not playing good so far this game. We have to make sure that we do play a little bit better here because we need a goal. We cannot take this to pens. You guys have seen in my previous rebuilds, pens are so difficult. I think in my Man City rebuild, I did okay in pens, no spoilers to anything, but I cannot remember if, but I know that in the past, I have lost on pens plenty of times, so that's not going to be good if we do end up going into pens, especially because we do need this final match. This is a very important match for us. That should be offside right there, and it is. Okay, so it's the 70th minute. They're making some big subs as well, so they're going to have some fresh players on the field. Let's see if we can try to get a goal here. That should be an... Ooh! What a pass! Please, he's got the speed for this, right? He has to have the speed. He's got 90 speed. Come on, please. Oh, great save. Header! Oh, please! Oh, what was that volley? Come on, man. Oh my gosh. There's no way that volley doesn't even end up on target. You could have just passed it. Like, you don't have to go for power. That should have been a pass to one of the corners, and that was an easy goal right there. I know it was a difficult bounce, but come on, it had to be at least on target. Win us a corner at least, because that was so bad. Speaking of, holy, what a bad through ball by them. Okay, nice pass to Tell in the middle. We have the energy. The game is almost over. Please. And he does! He scores! 89th minute! I was getting a little bit worried. I wasn't going to get any hype, or I wasn't going to get hyped up because I was like, oh, this could be a save. The goalies are really good. But we do end up scoring. Perfect. 1-0 in the 90th minute. We just need to hold on. Let's just park the bus. Park the bus, people. Just stay back. Stay back. I'm going to bring my strikers on defense. I'm going to be as smart as possible. There's only 2 minutes, and they don't seem to be pressing as much as they should be. Haaland, please give the ball away. Okay, just bring it over here to our side. Come on, call it, ref! Please, you called the whistle, right? And we win! We win the Carabao Cup! Oh my gosh, that is huge for us considering we're about to be relegated. Not relegated, but we are about to maybe be relegated. I think we're sitting at like 16th or 17th in the table. So that is really good for us. We're going to sim the rest of the season. Hopefully we don't get relegated. We'll see. But, I mean, we won our trophy, which is amazing. The 4th season with the squad is done and we finished 16th. So 1 point away from relegation. Wait, what? Manchester United got relegated. Oh my gosh, Manchester United got relegated. What? I have never seen that ever in any of my rebuilds, ever. Will Manchester United get relegated? Oh my gosh. What does the top of the table look like? Okay, Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Aston Villa. Okay, so the top of the table makes sense, but relegation for Manchester United, I highly doubt I'll see that in my lifetime. I highly doubt I'll see that. As bad as Man United is, as a Man United fan, I know, yes, I'm a Leeds United and a Man United fan. Yes, I know you guys can hate me in the comments, but whatever. As a fan of the club, I highly doubt I'll ever see them get relegated. There's no way a club with that much money could get relegated. There's no way. It's one of the biggest clubs in the world when it comes to funding. There's no way the coach would be that bad to get them relegated. That is ridiculous. I mean, it's fine. We have a great season with Leeds right now. We avoided relegation and we kicked out Man United, which is ridiculous, by the way. But we are starting our 5th season. This is where it gets interesting because now we're at a point where we had a bad season due to injuries, but we now have to make some big changes, including our keeper. Do we keep Rome Owusu-Adoru? I think we do. I think he is the guy for the future. He'll probably be sitting at around a 24-year-old or 24 years old as of right now in the game. Probably around a 78, 79 overall, which is not the best, but it is around Melier's level, so that is going to be a guy that is going to be starting for us this season. Yeah, he's only at an 81, and we have Owusu who's up to a 78. So not bad. He's 23 years old. He's a great player. He's going to come in and be our starting keeper. We do need a backup keeper in here, or maybe even a starting keeper and have him as our backup if we do find someone a little bit better. But I feel like we got to make some changes this season. Nwaneri didn't end up performing nearly as well as I thought he would, and Solomon, I think, has to be the guy that goes. I think he's got to play off the bench or we're going to have to sell him. As much as you guys gave me the challenge to keep him on the squad for the first couple of seasons, it's past the first couple of seasons and I think it is time for him to go. Because Ramazzini, I don't think is going to be worth anything, but I think Solomon is actually going to be worth quite a bit. So I'm going to take him off for now, and that is going to be one of the positions that we do target. Center attacking mid, I'll keep in Nwaneri for now. Vermeer is good. I told you guys he would develop fantastically, and he has. Tell is amazing. Wilfred on the right side is good, but didn't progress as much as I thought he would. Our right back is at a position where he's 80 overall and 20 years old, so not bad from him. Kubarsi is up to an 82. This second center back is one of the guys I also think needs to go. As much as I think he is a great player, I think we need an amazing center back next to Kubarsi to be able to stop us from getting relegated, because clearly that defensive pairing last season was not good enough. Or do we spend all of our budget on that left wing? How much do we have in budget? 100 million. Okay, so we have enough to spend 50 million on a winger and then 50 million on a center back, or just buy a center back, or just buy a winger, sorry. I think we do that. I think we keep this center back here and instead spend all of our budget on the left winger position, get an amazing left winger for the future. I think that's what we have to do right here. It needs to be somebody like over the 83 overall range for us. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to spend 100 million on a winger, which is going to be insane. That's going to help us out so much offensively. And yes, defensively we might be a little bit weak, but totally fine by us. And we ended up selling our keeper, my personal favorite player on Leeds, for 19.7 million. I'm so disappointed that he ended up wanting to leave the squad. I mean, he didn't develop nearly as much as I thought he would, just based on his caliber in real life and his age. I thought he would at least develop to an 83, 84, but he didn't end up doing that. So I was like, you know what? Might as well let him go. Solomon is getting some decent offers as well. Unfortunately, he's not worth that much, but it's going to build up our budget to be able to pick up that amazing left winger, whichever one we do find. And Solomon's gone for 28.5 million to Bournemouth. That's not a bad place for him to go. Unfortunately, we had to get rid of him. Shout out to Ite. I'm pretty sure that was who recommended it. Sorry if I got it wrong, but yeah, it was unfortunate that we had to let him go, but we kind of did. Just because he didn't really fit in the squad anymore. He didn't develop nearly as much as I thought, and it was going to be a waste of his talent on the bench. He needed to be a starter or he needed to leave the squad, and unfortunately he couldn't be a starter for us. We need a left winger, and we probably have a massive budget to do so right now. We probably have a massive budget. Yeah, 142 million to pick up the best left winger that we can possibly find. Let's see who we can come up with at this point in the game. Alright, we pick up my personal favorite winger to use in-game other than Foden, or my top two, and it is Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is a fantastic winger. You guys have probably seen him from Napoli. He's also fantastic for country as well. An amazing, amazing player. He helped lead Georgia, the Georgia national team, to a spot in the Euros, I believe. This past year. So he's a fantastic player. He played fantastically against Portugal, which I'm Portuguese, so I definitely paid attention to that game. He's 27 years old, so he's at the peak of his career, so he's not going to get much better, but he's a guy that is fantastic. 89 overall. He's not going to get much better than that, but now it's a much better front three. This is a front three that I do think could compete with any front three in the world right now. Yes, Wilfred is kind of lacking in terms of ability compared to the other guys in the top three, but that's totally fine. We have 30 million to spend. Do we want to pick up that center back that we've been waiting for and get rid of Ampadu right here? I think we do. I think we got to take that risk this season. This season has to be one of the seasons where we start making that change and getting even better. So I think we got to sell our center back. Hopefully that brings us up to 50 million in budget at least. I don't know how much he is worth. Yeah, he's worth around 21 million, so that should give us around 50 million to work with to get a center back even better than him. I don't know who I can find for that price, especially at this point in the game, but hopefully it's somebody good. And he ends up going to Man City, which is a little bit... I was preferring him to go to Brighton. He was choosing between one of the two. And he ends up going to Man City, which is obviously the better option for him, but kind of sad for us. We have 54 million now to pick up a center back. I have no idea who I'm going to sign in this position, because we are very late in this game. We are now on our 5th season, by the way. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, because we are like almost 6 hours into filming. So... make sure you guys are hitting that like button, because this has taken me so long. I'm going to try to find somebody amazing. I'm looking for some sort of youth kid maybe to come in and be on our squad, because I need somebody for the future, and I don't really have the money to be able to sign somebody that is good now, so I might have to look for somebody for the future. And we've gone the youth direction, or the youth academy direction, and actually picked up a 17-year-old 78 overall player, a massive, massive player in Victor Aubert, a guy from OGC, sorry. And he comes in at a 78 overall, a fantastic player overall. And the reason why I picked him up is because there were some other guys that were a little bit better, 80 overall plus players, guys that were fantastic and around his age. But this guy has 4 playstyles already. That means he must have an amazingly high potential. He already has aerial, jockey, intercept, or 3 at least, or 3 playstyles, which is insane for a player that's only 17 years old. So I think he will be the future of this squad in terms of the defensive side. So I took the risk with him. Hopefully it pays off. I'm going to sit in the whole season, and let's see if we can get a win in the Premier League. Hopefully we can get some wins, and hopefully we can end up having a better season than last season, because last season was really unfortunate. Season number 5 is over and we have finished 10th. So not the worst season overall. We finished in the top 10. It's not horrible. Considering that the race to 4th is within 4 points. So we almost finished top 4. We just had to win 2 more games and we would have went top 4. So, and the champion was only barely ahead of Manchester City. So it was a very, very close race this season. So it's not bad. Finishing 10th is not bad considering the fact that it was such a close race. So not bad. We do have some things we have to do next season. In terms of the results, we ended up semi-finals of the FA Cup once again. We cannot make it to these finals, but you know what? We've already won our Carabao Cup. We don't have to worry about that. It's all about the Prem. It's taken a very long time to win the Prem, but it's realistic because in real life, they're not going to be able to sign a lot of these players until later on, and so it is going to take multiple seasons or maybe even 10 years until Leeds United wins the Prem in real life. I highly doubt they're going to win in the next 5 to 10 years, but if they do, it's going to be with this method that I have been using so far, which is signing world-class young talents to bring up, and then every once in a while signing a prime player like Kavicha and stuff to come in and be that superstar role model for the rest of these guys. I want to see how the squad looks because we have a lot of things we want to change this season. Okay, Kavicha 100% is staying. Tell is staying. Wilfried, I'm sorry, you're going to have to come from the bench or you're going to have to go. One of the two. I had so much hope for this guy. 20 years old. And he was like 79 overall. And I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's going to be an absolute star. He's going to go up to an 86, 87. He's stuck at an 81. I'm so annoyed with him. Center attacking mid position. As much as I want to switch Nwaneri, I want to give him at least one more season just because he is still only 22 years old. Albert actually went up to an 80, which is great. He'll stay there. Guerrera should stay there as well. And Owusu Adoru could stay, could go. It kind of depends if I have a lot of budget left, but right winger is what we're going to pick up now. This is where it gets interesting because do we sell our guy or do we have enough funds to be able to pick up a right winger just straight off the bat? Okay, we have 100 million. So I'm going to look for some right wingers and I'm going to see if we're going to sell anybody to be able to afford whatever right winger that we want, or we'll keep Wilfried on the bench and then sell somebody else. I feel like that's the way we're going to do it. I'm going to try to sign somebody probably 27 or 28 years old or under, just because I do think that we'll win the Premier League within the next 3 or 4 seasons if we do the right stuff. So I'm going to try to look for around that age range and see what we have going here because there aren't a lot of players that we can choose from. Okay, we unfortunately had to sell Daniel James, one of my favorite players on the squad, if not the favorite player on the squad, other than the keeper. 10.6 million. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to make as much money as possible because there's one player I really, really want, but he's worth 130 million. So I got to sell a bunch of rotational players that are already on the bench. Our bench is going to be horrible this season, but if we can survive relegation for this season, our starting 11 for next season will be one of the best in the entire world. Our starting 11 is already amazing, but if we can survive this right now and put some of these guys on the bench that we know are not the best, but could maybe eventually turn into decent players, as soon as we sell those guys, if they end up becoming anything good, that's good. But if they don't, next season we can use 100 million to get a good bench. Because now we need the funds to be able to pick up our right midfielder. I'm trying to sell Ginotto as well to be able to get some funds in as well. I think he might actually be leaving right now. Oh no, who is this? Who is this? Hold on. Oh, Pascal. Okay, so Pascal has actually gone for 15.1 million. I'm slowly building up my funds to be able to afford this guy's wages because it is a youth player that I'm trying to target, but it is a guy that is 87 overall, and I'm pretty sure he's like 15 years old or something ridiculous. Like, he is a generational player that I need to get. So I am 100% going to try to sell as many players as possible and then pick him up. And he's gone. Unfortunately, he is gone for 32.8 million to Man United, which I wonder if they're promoted back into the league. I assume they are. They have like unlimited funds. I still have no idea how they didn't end up getting how they weren't promoted, or how they ended up getting demoted in the first place. This is the player that I'm looking for. I want to show you guys. This is the player that I am going to be targeting. Where is he? It's this guy right here, Pinto. 22 years old and 87 overall. The best young winger in the entire world. I can get it for 135 million. I have a lot in budget right now, so I should be able to afford him, and it is going to be insane if I can pick him up. It would be such a good addition to the squad. I'm going to try to give him a little bit of a sell-on fee. Hopefully they end up taking that. Oh no, wow, they want 167 million. No, thank you, but I will give you 147 million maybe. 162. Are you kidding me? And we have signed him for a massive price of 150 million around. So we negotiated pretty well. We ended up getting him for 152.6 million, which isn't that horrible considering he's 22 years old and one of the best in the world. He is going to be our future best player on the squad. He's already one of the best players on our squad other than Kavicha and maybe even Tell, but he's going to come in and be our starting right winger. Now we have a little bit of funds to be able to pick up some backup players right here. I will most likely just put some youth academy scouts or make some youth academy scouts go on tasks to try to find me a backup center back, a backup midfielder, and then a backup right winger. Those are going to be the 3 positions I'm trying to... Actually, a backup goalkeeper too. So backup keeper, center back, and winger are the 3 things that I'm going to look for. I'm going to put my scouts on there, and hopefully we can find a good backup right here. Actually, no, we have a decent... Actually, yeah, we have 3 decent midfielders that we have already. The only thing that we really need are a backup center back, and then a backup keeper. So that's what I'm going to get my youth academy people to look at, and then we should be good to once again start a successful season. With 3 months of scouting, with 2 different scouts, I barely found anybody willing or worth promoting to the first team squad. This guy's one of them. We have this guy, that's another one, and we have this guy, that's another one. And oh, he's actually too young, but we can promote this 16-year-old. Honestly, not a good run in terms of youth academy stuff. At least we'll have a backup goalkeeper though, because we don't have any backup goalkeeper if our goalkeeper ends up getting injured. And then we can maybe put one of our youth academy players like this guy right here on the bench. But I'm actually not. I'm going to leave him on the reserves for now. In terms of the squad is doing okay. Everybody's progressing decently and nicely. We should just hopefully continue simming, and hopefully we end up doing well this season. Season 6 is over and we finished 11th, so a little bit worse than last season, but once again, it's a very close title race to the top. I don't know why it is so close. Every single season has been so tight. We're 20 points, not even 20 points, oh yeah, 20 points away from the top, which is not that many considering we have some holes in the squad still. So we are on our way. We are definitely on our way. We're slowly progressing up there. We're starting to become a top tier team. I expected it to take 10 seasons. So we're at season 6. We're going into season 7 right here. And this is the time where I think we're going to start to break into the top 7. I think this is the goal of this season right here, is to break into the top 7. And I think we should be able to do it. We have an amazing front 3 now. We have an amazing midfield, I think. It's just the defense I think we do have to work on. So we're going to see what we have to work on. Goalkeeper, I think we have to get a super stud. I think that will be a game changer. If we can spend 100 million on a goalkeeper. Yes, you have Rome Owusu-Adoru, who's good. But if we can get somebody even better, like an amazing keeper to come in, he will lead us to the top of the league. I know it. Goalkeeper is so important this year in terms of simulations. I have done so many rebuilds and I know that it is literally the most important position, which makes sense, obviously, because if you have shots on net, you need somebody that can save them. So we will have to pick up a better keeper for sure. That has to be our goal in this episode, or sorry, in this season right here. Let's see what our squad looks like. Okay, yup, 90 overall, you're staying. Tell, you're staying. Pinto, 88, you're just as good as Talon, you're 2 years younger. Yup, staying. Nwaneri, could go. Vermin, staying. Miley is staying. Aber didn't progress as much as I thought. Guerrero, same thing. Wusu, I think Wusu has to go. 25 years old. He can come from the bench, maybe, but I think he has to go. I think that is one of the players that needs to go. So we need a goalkeeper. So Wusu hopefully can give us the funds to be able to pick up an amazing one. In terms of the bench players, I don't see anybody too amazing. Gyabi is good to have maybe as a bench rotational player. Maybe I'll put him like this, and that'll be how the bench looks for this season. And in terms of everything else, let's see. Okay, wingback I'll keep because he's 22. 19-year-old center back I'll keep just because he's 19. Hato, 24 years old, didn't progress as much as I thought he would, but he's decent from the left side. Kubarsi's good from the center. I think Nwaneri has to go. I just don't think he has been performing nearly as well as I thought he would. But keeper has to be the first position that we pick up. If we can find a keeper for cheap, we'll pick him up for cheap. And if we can sell Rome for a good price, yeah, only 18.5 million. Honestly, it's not even worth selling him, but might as well sell him, get a little bit of money right here. But we do have to now sign a keeper. I'm going to re-sign everybody on our squad first, and then I'll work towards signing our keeper, because we have a lot of contracts ending this season. We have found our keeper, and it is a 20-year-old player from Barcelona. So we stole their starting keeper, and it is Fabrice Colombo. At this point in the game, we're at a point where a lot of the players that you know in real life are at the point where they're almost retiring, because we're 7 seasons in. So this is 7 years later than where we are at in real life. So a lot of the top tier players like even Bruno Fernandes, like a random player like that, will be retired maybe in 7 years. So he is a guy that is really good, and he is a youth academy type of player. So an amazing player to come in and be our starting goalkeeper. He's going to be the leader of our team for sure. He's coming in as our goalkeeper right here. We don't have any more budget, so I feel like this is the squad we have to run with for this season. Once again, I don't think it's really ready to win the league. I think we still have 1 or 2 more seasons to be able to win the league for sure. But maybe right now, what I am going to do is I have 24 million. So I think I want to pick up a backup in one of these positions. And I think for the most part, it's got to be that center back position. This center back position is really weak. And I do think that we do need a backup on the bench. I'm going to try to find somebody that's around 75 to 80 overall. That's around 20 years old to play off the bench for us and be that long-term guy that just sits on the bench and hopefully progresses a little bit from there. Okay, and we picked up a simple guy right here. A guy in Patrick Bengtson. I feel like that's how you would pronounce that last name right there. It's just a really cheap $6 million value player that comes in and is our backup center back. It's not going to be the best player of all time, but it is a guy that's going to be a lot better than the guy that we have right here in this 21-year-old. So at least we'll have somebody here that can come on and be a good center back replacement for our two guys right here. We have a decent wing back to come on from the bench. Midfielder-wise, we have 3 decent midfielders. All are decently young. We have 3 older strikers. I do have to pick up a backup striker, a wonderkid striker. So I did put my youth academy for that to try to find somebody to replace Tell in maybe the future or come off the bench for sure. So I have these scouts setting up that network. But then I'm just going to sim until the 1st of every single month and then do that type of stuff with the youth academy. Try to figure out if I'm going to sign a striker from there as a backup. But then for the most part, this is another season. We're just going to sim. I think it's still going to take 2 or 3 seasons to win the Prem. Maybe we win it this season though. We'll see. Okay, so we found a youth academy player with 87 to 94 potential. That's insane. But everybody else doesn't seem to be the best. Arthur French, this guy though right here, is going to be our backup striker. This guy is really, really solid for a backup guy. Super solid. He can end up going up to at least an 80 overall, which is fantastic. Goes up to maybe even a 90 overall. So a great player for us. We have some other guys on here that I could just promote to the squad just to give them some reps, just in case people get injured and things like that. But there are a lot of these players that I just don't need at all. If they're anything under the 85 potential, I do not need them. If they're under 90, for the most part, I don't need them either. I'm just waiting for this Nathan Mills guy to be on the squad because that guy is going to be insane for us. If he can get his skill moves up and he turns to a pure winger, he will be an insanely good player for us. So I'm going to make sure he does start learning how to be... Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave him on balance just because he is so young. His stats are really bad overall, so I'm going to let him develop as a whole, and then maybe next season or the season after we'll add him into the squad. This should still take around 2 to 3 seasons, but we'll see. I mean, the squad is getting better and better every single season. And now we have French right here, who is going to be our backup guy instead of Joseph. The reason why I'm doing that is because Joseph is asked to leave at the end of the season, and his contract's going to end anyway. So we have to let him go, which is unfortunate. His contract is going to end, but it's okay. It's not that bad. We don't really have to do much here. In terms of how we're doing in the league so far, we're 11th, which isn't the best. But once again, it's a close league race, so can't do much with that. We are just going to continue simming, and hopefully we end up at least not getting relegated so that next season we have a chance to win the league. Because I think next season, as long as we can get 1 center back next season as a star player, I think we can win the league. Season 7 is over, and we finished 14th. Injuries have been destroying us this entire rebuild, and it's still a decently close race to the title, so we have an opportunity to win the title. The title is right there for us. We have an opportunity, but injuries have been destroying us in terms of our squad. So bad. Look right there. Injury. Our starting left winger is injured and out for the entire season. Like, it is crazy how badly injuries have been destroying us this rebuild. This rebuild has been the single longest rebuild I've ever done. I've been recording for hours now, so make sure you guys are hitting that like button because, I mean, this is more realistic this way, of course, because I don't expect them to win it within 7 seasons. I do expect them, if they're going to win the Premier League anytime soon, it's going to be 8+ seasons for sure. And so we're heading into the 8th season, and I think this is our chance to shine. But every single season I say that, and they get injured every single season. So hopefully, we'll see if we do continue to have injury issues. We do have to fix up our defense, though. I noticed that a lot of the times we get a lot of goals in these games when I look up, but we concede a lot of goals. So we have to fix our defense. We got to get at least 1 or 2 superstars in that defensive backfield to be able to control the squad a little bit more. As you can see, we lost some of our players in terms of our some of the players that we didn't really need anyways. That's not that bad. But we do have Kvicha, who's still injured, which is crazy. Then we have Tell. Pinto is good. Then we have Nwaneri, who I think has to go at the end of this. I think he has to go now, honestly. And then we have Aubert. And I think Aubert actually might start from the bench because we need an amazing center back. We need an amazing center back to come on the field and be a starter for us. So I'm just going to put a random center back for now. And then, let's just put like a random dude for now. And then Kvicha needs a backup, a really good left wing backup. So do we have our guy right here? We have Williamson. who is our decent player, who could come in and be our backup guy. He actually developed quite nicely from the reserves. But let's see if we can actually put any of our academy players on the squad right now. If any of them are good. Ooh, Mills is up to a 93 to 94 potential guaranteed. How old does he have to be eligible to play? I think he has to be 16. Yeah. Oh, that's so unfortunate. This guy's gonna be so good for us. Look at how good this guy is right now. I'm gonna start developing him as a winger for this season just because he is so good. 93 minimum potential is absolutely ridiculous. Nobody else can be promoted or anything like that. But now I kind of don't even want to win the league this season. I want to wait till that guy comes onto the squad. But left midfielder position, he's actually going to come off. And it is going to be Williamson coming on because he's a 63. Actually, no, never mind. I thought it was a 73, but he's a 63. Okay, so in terms of the squad, we need a center back and we need a backup left wing. And we need a cam, honestly. This cam position has been destroying us. Nwaneri has not been nearly as good as I thought he would be. Maybe we get him instead of a center back, honestly. No, but I feel like center back is a position that we desperately need. Our center back core is very bad, so I do think we do need a center back, but we need a cam and we need a left wing. We don't really need a left wing though. How long is Kvic out? Let me actually check. If he's out for a really long time, we might need a left wing to make sure that we don't get relegated. Oh, Achilles tendon rupture. Shoot. Yeah, 3 months. Jeez, that's ridiculous. Okay. We'll still leave the left midfielder position and the left winger position just there. Nobody's at the age where I have to get rid of them because nobody's like that old in terms of age or anything like that. Our keeper didn't develop that much, but he's still an 86 overall, so that's great. Center back though, I do need, and then Cam I will actually end up picking up. I'm going to actually put our guy on the bench just right here. So Cam is going to be the position that we pick up, and then center back. Those are the two positions that we're going to look towards this season. Hopefully, both of those guys end up turning into stars. I now can actually sell Gabby right here and Joseph, but I think they're going to be gone anyway, so that's fine. But we do need a cam and we need a center back. Can we find two for a combined total of 129 million? I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, so we're actually going to do a couple of things here. Instead of picking up guys like we do every single season, I'm going to spend the entire time just trying to scout these three positions: right back, center back, and cam. And I'm going to put 3 different scouts on, or 1 scout for each of these positions. And I'm going to see if we can just get a superstar academy player, because we're going to have to wait till Mills comes on the squad anyway. And so I don't really mind waiting a little bit in terms of getting a phenomenal player, just because then next season we're going to have an insanely large budget. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go straight to Northern Europe, just straight off the bat. And then we're going to go for, we'll go for 3 months each for now. And we'll try to find a cam. And then, yeah, our cam position, and then we're going to find our center back and then our right back position. Those are going to be the 3 positions that we find that we're going to try to target. So hopefully we can end up finding a wonder kid in there. But for now, we're just going to keep the rest of the budget, and we're just going to stay until the end of the season for the most part. Okay, so we actually do have to get a center attacking mid. I wanted to just do the youth academy strategy, but then I had to actually pick up one guy. So I did pick up somebody for 53.8 million. I was trying to pick up Kendrick Pais, who is a 86 overall guy, if you guys see right here. But they wanted like 150 million. I don't have that in the budget right now. So I had to pick up our guy right there, because Ethan Nwaneri is actually requested to leave the squad. So he is actually going to leave for a decent price, and we get a guy that's a little bit better and a little bit younger. Or I don't know if he's a little bit younger, but a little bit better. So that's okay in terms of that. We don't really have to worry about that too much. I'm letting a lot of our contracts end as well, just because we will have a lot of youth academy players coming in, and so hopefully we end up having good players there. I am going to sell Ethan Nwaneri, and then we should be good to start this 8th season right here. And Ethan Nwaneri goes to Manchester City for 32.5 million. All of our guys seem to be wanting to go to Manchester City, which is unfortunate. But you know what, we made a big profit on that sale in total, and now we can just sim the entire season, because now we have no point of hopping into anything right here. We're just going to go every once in a while to look at our youth academy players, but other than that, we should be good just to sim the entire season. Okay, so this is how the youth academy draw went. I signed a bunch of players from 3 months, and this is exactly what we got right here. In terms of center backs, we have 2 potential good center backs right here. In terms of wing backs, we didn't really get anybody too amazing, but hopefully one of these guys ends up having great potential, and then we'll be signing him towards the end of the season. In terms of CDM, I found one guy that was decently good. Center mids, we found actually a few guys that were okay. In terms of these center attacking mid positions, hopefully they all have great potential. Obviously, we have our best player possible in Nathan Mills right here, who hopefully he ends up being an absolute star for us. He actually already developed to being a winger already, so that's awesome. His skill moves will go up, his sprint speed will go up like crazy, and then we can progress something else. In terms of the striker, we actually have a great striker right here, 84 to 90, and then we have an 83 to 89, 82 to 88, and then a 73 to 50 to 94. So we have some good players in here. I'm going to change everybody's development plan, and then we're going to continue simming. Hopefully these guys all end up being stars. That would be amazing, but we'll see how it goes. Season 8 is done, and finally we make it to the top 4. Oh my gosh, finally. This took us so long, but we finally made it to the top 4 right here. Okay, we're working our way to the top right here. Finally. Okay, in terms of budget, we're fine there. In terms of the top goal scorers, do we make it on the top 5? Yeah, we did. Okay, so Tell had 18 and 37. That's not bad. Victor Boniface, oh my gosh, he's had a crazy amount of goals. We might have to steal him from Liverpool because this guy is so good. In terms of most assists, we were second in assists with Pinto, which is good. I don't see anybody else worth noting. We have almost the most clean sheets in the league, which is good. Red cards, we actually had 2 red cards from Lewis Miley. Lewis Miley, you're walking on a thin rope right here. I might have to get rid of him, honestly, if he does stuff like that. Oh no, I ended up simming. Hopefully that doesn't mean I lose some of my youth players. I think if they reach 18, you either lose them or they get automatically promoted. I do not know if we do end up losing them. Hopefully not, because that's a lot of our good players are these 17-year-old kids. So hopefully the 18-year-olds are on the youth academy. Otherwise, maybe they'll be automatically promoted. Otherwise, we just lost a bunch of top caliber players. But that's okay, because we do have our 93 to 94 guy that should still be on the squad in terms of youth academy. So we're going to sim till then. And we're going to check out the squad as well, because this is the season. This is our 9th season. And I think at the 10th season, that's going to be our run to the Premier League Championship. I think 10 seasons is the perfect amount to truly go for the Premier League Championship. So this season, once again, it's just going to be putting a bunch of Youth Academy players on the squad, getting them developed, getting them in the Youth Academy, getting rotated around in the squad, building that starting 11, and then next season, I think, will be the chance to win the Premier League. I think that's how it's going to be. We're going to see how it goes, though, in terms of this season. We might actually win this season, but I want to check out the Youth Academy just straight off the bat. In terms of players, did they keep our guys? No, they actually got rid of it. But Michael Hall is a cam with 91 to 94 potential. Wait, let me just, before we even do any of this, I'm going to actually just get rid of anybody with low potential. If they have decent potential, they can stay, but if they have super low potential, they're going to go. In terms of our players, okay, so we did lose the 18-year-olds, which is unfortunate, but Michael Hall, 100% promoted. Okay, so we have to remember these guys' names. So Michael Hall is 100% going to be on the squad somewhere. Since we don't have a backup guy right here in terms of Cam, he's going to go up here, and then we have our other guy next to him right there. In terms of center backs, they'll be there, and then CDM. So Hall is our #1 guy when it comes to this type of stuff. When it comes to being that that center attacking mid replacement, he's gonna come on and be an amazing substitute for a guy right here. That's our first super sub. That is our first amazing player. Yes, we have guys like French and stuff who are good, but these are the top caliber players. Mills, where is he? Where's our top potential players right here? Mills, you are 100% getting promoted to the squad. Let's check out his development first, and let's make sure that he does. Yeah, now we can do winger 100% of the time, and I'm gonna actually start developing him as an inside forward, just so he can start developing his shooting, because his shooting's still pretty bad. So he's gonna be promoted to the senior team. We also have Albie Reed, who's really good. We have a couple of other guys right here who are fantastic. So before we add any more players, though, let's put our guy Mills as our backup right winger. So this means that this guy's actually gonna leave our squad, and we're gonna make sure that Pinto actually comes off for this right winger, even though, oh wait, he's on international duty, so it's fine. But it's okay, because he's 89 overall, so he'll be a super sub for Mills right here. Then what we need is some other players to come onto the squad. So let's see who we want to put onto the squad. Let's go to the academy, and I feel like for every single player from now on, ooh, this Damien guy's good. Minimum 84 or minimum 87, and this guy's minimum 88 to 94. So Damien, you know what? I'm gonna promote every single person in the squad. Okay, wait, they're all too young. Wait, I thought 15-year-olds can. Okay, maybe only 16-year-olds. So let's actually go to the 16-year-olds. Thiago Cruz, sure, he's decent. Ryan Nicholas is pretty decent as well. And Finley Coates is also pretty decent as well. So all three guys are going to be playing off the reserves in terms of those guys, unless we do have some opportunities to play them as a backup if they're higher overall than our guys. But for the most part, they're going to be playing off our reserves. Yeah, they're not that high overall. They might as well play for the reserves for us. I'm actually going to put our right back there just because we don't really have a backup right back right now. And then Gabi and Ramazini can actually both go. But now we have a full Youth Academy bench. I hope you guys enjoyed. Or I hope you guys enjoy me having the Youth Academy players, because a lot of you guys have been asking me, do Youth Academy stuff? You never do Youth Academy stuff. I did this season. Okay, in terms of our center attacking mid, didn't develop that much. Same thing with Lewis Miley. Lewis Miley, honestly, I feel like he has to go. He has not done much for the squad, and he's just got way too many red cards to be on the squad for now. I think he has to be the one player that goes that we end up getting a better player for. I think we need a center mid that can come in that position, unless you want to get a center back, but our center backs are actually younger than him. So I feel like Lewis Miley is going to be sold, and as soon as he is, we're going to end up picking up an amazing center mid for him. And Lewis Miley ends up going, and I don't know who he actually ended up going to, Arsenal for 62.8 million. So that's kind of bad because he's going to go to a squad that will utilize him and will make him maybe even a star player. So that's not really good for us. But now we have a massive budget. Let's check out our budget and let's see how much we actually have exactly. Yeah, 325 million to pick up that center mid position. We're going to find the literal best in the game, and we're going to see if we can pick him up. Okay, we have picked up our biggest purchase ever on the squad, and it is Zaire Emery. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. He has been a wonder kid for years and years now. Plays for PSG in real life, I believe, at this point in real life, I think. We got him for around 170 million, which is crazy, but he's 26 years old at the peak of his career, and he comes in as a world-class player, one of the best midfielders in the world at this point in the game. And I'm like, you know what? He fits that box-to-box role, which we're trying to get right now. So I'm like, you know what? It's actually not bad to have him as that role for us. Do we switch our formation and try to pick up another center mid? That could be an idea for us, but I feel like this season, we sim. Next season is our final run to the title, but I feel like this season we can sit back, watch, see how our young kids end up developing, and then we'll see you guys at next season. We're not even going to touch anything this season. We're not going to do anything else. We're just going to switch a development plan for Zaire Emery, so hopefully he ends up becoming a better box-to-box player, and then we're just going to sim until the end of the season and head into our 10th season, which that will be our final chance to win the league. Otherwise, I will just quit the video. Season 9 is over, and we didn't end up winning the league, but we ended up getting second. We were so close to winning the league, but then towards the end, in the final month of, I believe this was the entire, the final month of this season right here, we ended up winning, or losing, sorry, almost every single league game that we had or was drawing. So we threw the league very badly towards the end of the season, but you know what? We get the chance to win the league in our 10th season. If I don't win the league in this 10th season, I will consider the rebuild a failure. I didn't win anything. Oh, I actually won the EFL Cup, which is great, but it doesn't even matter. The whole point of this rebuild was to win the Premier League and bring Leeds back to the top, and we have a chance to do it in this 10th season. That would be nice because it is the number 10, which is obviously a cooler number than 9 in my opinion. And so we do get a chance to win it in our 10th season. We are almost there. We just need that final push, and I think the thing that we need the most is a center back. I think that needs to be what we pick up this season right here. I think that will change the entire game for us. That'll allow us to take it to the next level and to win the league this season. I think that will be what we can do here, honestly. And yeah, in terms of squad, center back and right back, 2 positions I think we should be getting. If we have enough funds, we'll keep these guys. If not, we'll get rid of both of them. But that's okay. In terms of players, oh my gosh, we have no backups really. We have barely any backups on the we have no reserve players. Maybe that's why we ended up doing so poorly at the end of the season. I wonder if anybody got picked up in terms of like whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. Release clause and things like that. But we have actually a lot of top tier talents that can come in from the youth squad, which is great. Pretty much everybody except for this 15-year-old is eligible to play for our squad now, which is good to see. So now we can have a lot of backups on the squad, and a lot of youth academy players that can come in. Mills didn't end up progressing at all, which is unfortunate. Neither did Hall, and Hall was a super sub. So I am going to actually remove him as a super sub just because he didn't end up progressing at all. In terms of the bench, now we have a good player in pretty much every position except for keeper. We do not have a backup keeper. That might be something that we look to pick up right here. In terms of our bench, okay, everything is good for that. I don't think we really need to pick up much when it comes to our bench. Yeah, I feel like every single position in our bench is okay. We're kind of sorted for it. We just need the starting right back. Oh! No, that was the center back that we're going to pick up. Yeah, so nobody got taken from release cost. That's good. We just need a starting center back and a starting right back. If we don't have enough funds, we have 2 guys that we can sell right here. But if we do, we will end up signing both of those guys right there. We've picked up one of our defenders that we are going to put into the squad, and it is Bernier, a player from FC Barcelona, their starting guy, for 158.92 million. So not bad, considering he's an 88 overall at 23. And the second guy we are going to get is also a Barcelona player, and it is Arujo right here. He's a 34-year-old, but he's a 90 overall. I got to pick him up. I got to pick up that veteran presence in the backfield. It seems like that is what we are missing for this squad. We need somebody that is going to be that amazing player in the backfield. He also isn't looking to retire for at least 2 years, so that's good. I mean, we only have one more season for rebuild, so I'm just going to offer them as much money as they want. It doesn't really matter to me because these are our only 2 signings we're going to make for this final season, which is the run to the Premier League title. If Leeds United wins the Prem in 10 years, I'll be happy as a Leeds fan. So I don't mind it taking this long. It just is a little bit more realistic than me just signing the best possible players every single season, because I'm trying to assign just players, like different players every single season. So we're going to slot these 2 guys into our squad, and now we have a pretty fantastic squad overall. We have amazing guys coming off the bench. We have some wonder kids, and then we have some top tier talents as players coming off the bench. Yes, we do need a backup keeper, which I will be looking to find, and then we'll be good to sim the entire season once again. So I'm going to sim until maybe the final match of this entire rebuild, and then I'll see you guys there, and hopefully we would have ended up winning the league at that point. Otherwise, that would not be good. As we simmed along, we also wanted to pick up our guy Mukuku, who is the guy that we were going to pick up earlier, and he's not bad. 51.5 million, we get a guy as a backup striker just to put in the squad, just because I noticed that having youth wonder kids there is good, but we need to pick up at least one guy that is decent, like when it comes to actual quality players that are rotational. So I'm just gonna try to find a good backup goalkeeper, somebody for really cheap, like a guy like this, like a 35-year-old guy, just to put in our backup goalkeeper, and then we should be good to start this entire season and continue simming along. So yeah, we picked up the backup goalkeeper to come play for us, and it is Diego Cond for 6.3 million. So Diego Cond, I don't know if he is any good. I've never heard of him in real life, but he's 34 years old, and he's a good guy just to have on the bench for us. Yes, as you guys can see, I was targeting a right back to put on the bench as well, but I feel like a good striker on the bench in Mukuku, and then a good goalkeeper is good enough. I feel like the squad on the bench is good enough. Like, I don't really feel any need to put any of these better players on here. We have a pretty decent bench overall, and then obviously an amazing starting 11. So I'm going to sim the entire season until the very final game, and hopefully we ended up winning the league. And we have done it after 10 insanely challenging seasons. We have finally won the league with Leeds United. We dominated this season. Did we end up winning the FA Cup? No. Did we end up winning the Carabao Cup? Yes, actually, that's interesting. Okay, did we end up winning the Beats Cup? No, we got second. What about the Champions League? No, we didn't end up getting in that. Europa League, of course not. And then Conference League, of course not as well. So not a bad way to end off this rebuild right here. We do finally end up winning the Premier League in a crazy season right here. 28 goals and 36 appearances for our league goal scorer. Amazing season from him. Kvicha also got 18 and 37, so he had a fantastic season considering his age. Let's see anybody else from our squad. Nobody else was there. Tell also got 9 and 36, so he's had a fantastic season. Vermeeren got 7, and so did our center attacking mid, Mayer. He also got 7 as well, which is good. I don't see anybody else really on here. Oh, Pinto actually got 5 as well, which is great. Most clean sheets, we got it. Nice, perfect. Red cards and yellow cards, we are very disciplined this season. Finally, we don't have guys like Lucas Miley getting 2 red cards in a season. Ridiculous. But you know what? Not bad. Let's see how the final squad looks before we end this rebuild. Look at this squad right here. Vermeeren is out for the final game. Oh my gosh, that is so bad. But you know what? It's fine because we can play... we don't really have a lot of replacements for him. That's actually not good. We have no replacement for him, really. We can play Fontaine. Push Meyer down a little bit, maybe. We'll see. We'll see what we want to do after. But Caballero, Araujo, everybody in the backfield is very strong. Honestly, this whole squad is so amazing. Now, I get to do the awards ceremony. This is where it gets interesting because I've done this in my past couple of rebuilds, and I want to give awards to some of these guys. Let's see which one of these guys deserve which awards. And so, most valuable player, Tell. Instant. No need, no question for that. That is definitely our MVP, 100%. 94 overall is ridiculous. Most improved player is actually Pinto. Pinto started out not low overall, but he started out as a youth academy player and then went all the way to a 91 overall. So he's definitely the most improved player for sure. Best defensive player, I'm going to have to give it to Hato. Hato has been here since the beginning of the rebuild and have progressed so slowly, but have improved a lot and ended up being our best defender. Not the highest overall, but definitely one of the most secure guys for sure. Best offensive player other than Dentel and Pinto is going to be Kvicha. Great season considering his age. Honestly, fantastic from him. One of the best signings we've had in the entire rebuild. And then best youth academy player has to go to Mills. Mills, this guy is so good. Fontaine ended up progressing even more, but this is Mills' first season with the squad, and he's already at a 65, and he has a minimum potential of 93. So if he played a little bit more, I know that guy would be crazy. But now, we have a game against Man United. I cannot believe this is the final game. That's actually hilarious that this is the final game of the rebuild. But we're going to hop in. We've already won the league, but we're going to hop in to have one final game with the squad. Okay, we're into the game. The final match against Manchester United. What a way to end the rebuild after 10 seasons. This is officially the longest rebuild I've ever done on my channel. So make sure you guys are liking the video because as of right now, oh my gosh, I'm like 15 hours into recording right now, which is insane. This video has taken so long to record, so please hit that like button. It really helps me out. This video has honestly bumped my schedule back a lot, so hopefully I can continue to put a video out every single day for you guys, but this video has definitely messed up my schedule a little bit. Normally rebuilds only take like 6 or 7 hours, but today it's double that, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a video done for you guys for tomorrow. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully I can. I also have some Christmas stuff I gotta do, but we'll see. Let's see if we can just end off this rebuild on a high note. That would be really nice if we could beat Man United today with this squad after we've already won the Prem. What happened there? I don't know how nobody got a foul there. Maybe we just ran into each other, but one of us has to cause it. There's no way that, wow, Kubarsi with a great defensive effort, but there's no way that just both of us just fall like that. That was really weird. Oh my gosh, our defenders have been so nice to start off this match. Like, look at this. Oh my gosh, like, we're stepping up. We have a really high line. I mean, that was part of the... What a tackle by Mason Mount. I'm very surprised he's still on their squad, considering his ability and his age. But, you know what? I mean, it's helped them out a little bit, I guess. Let's see if we can get a nice cross on. It should be an easy, nice little cross right there. Ooh, great defensive clearance. Wow, what a great header by their guy. Pinto has another chance on the wing to cross it, but I don't see anybody moving in. I see maybe one guy on the far side. I'm going to take one step, then shoot. Oh, maybe I should have just tried to header it. But I knew from that angle and the size of our guy, I didn't think that we would get a nice header on. But, oh my, why didn't they just go forward? What was that? Did they think they were playing defense or something? Pinto has been sprinting all match. I don't know how this guy... like still has stamina. This guy is so tired right now. He's been sprinting literally all match. We've had like 3 consecutive plays through the wing where he's sprinted from one side of the field to the other side. So that guy must be tired for sure. Come on, let's see if we can get something going here. We need a goal really early on into this game, and I'm actually going to use the other side. Kavicha has a chance right here. Is that onside though? If it's onside, that should be a goal, right? Oh my gosh, what a save! That is a ridiculous save from the Man United goalkeeper. I don't see who that keeper is. I can't really tell, but what a save by them. That keeps them in this game because that should have been 1-0. I'm going to pass it to the outside, and we have Pinto right here for another opportunity for a cross. I'm going to send it far side, please. No, their heading ability is very, very good on this team. I mean, in real life, their heading ability is pretty solid as well. They have big guys like De Ligt and Højlund and stuff like that who are decently good at heading. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can get some goals. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get past this defense, though. So far, Mason Mount has been their player of the game. They have Garnacho still as well. Interesting. They seem to have kept a majority of their players, even though this is 10 years in the future, which is crazy. So let's see if I can get something going. I'm actually going to cross it in right here. Just a little cross right here. Please. If I'd score that. They have Ramiro in net, by the way. But if I'd scored that, I would have been so happy. What am I doing? I misclicked. Oh, no. I misclicked. Okay, wait. Slide here. Oh, I thought I'd predict the pass. Shoot. They have a good counterattack here. But Anarujo. Oh, no. It's okay. Halftime right here. 0-0. Come on. We need a goal. We got to make some subs here. We got to make some subs. Instantly, straight off the bat, I'm going to go to the tactic, and I'm going to switch it to a 4-2-4. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I do want 2 strikers. So, wait. Will it not let us switch it? Yeah, let me switch it. There we go. Why won't it let me switch it? That's really weird. Maybe you just can't switch tactics in this game, but I feel like that's a little bit unrealistic. But that's fine. Let's bring in... Who should we bring in? Mills? No, he doesn't have the pace. I don't think he's ready for this type of stuff. If we go up a goal, we'll bring in some guys. If not, we'll just leave it how it is, because this is our best 11, and we do need to win. We need to win. We don't need to cycle through guys. We need to actually win today. This is a very important game to end off this rebuild on a high note. Otherwise, that would be 10 seasons of hard work to end off with a loss to Man United. That would be bad. Let's see if we can get something going here. I'm going to try to send in the middle as well. Oh, Tell, man. He keeps on running in. Oh, please. Oh, what a pass. What a pass, please. Inside. Goal, please. And we score! We actually do score. Okay, perfect. I was expecting maybe a save because this keeper has been on fire today. But we do score with Tell to give us the lead in this match. Oh my gosh, what a way to give us a lead in this match. Great pass. Great pass at the beginning, too, to send our far guy in Pinto, and then great run in the middle to be able to get an easy tap in for us. Let's see if we can get another goal here. Okay, Kavicha has a chance here too. Let's see if I can just cross it in. This should be an easy goal, right? And we score again! Please don't be offside. And it's not offside. Is that Tell as well? Oh my gosh, 2 goals in the span of minutes with this squad. Okay, because we just scored, I'm going to finally take off Pinto. I know Pinto I really want to keep on, but Mills is coming on, man. I was so hyped that Mills was even a Youth Academy player. I wanted to do this rebuild for a little bit longer so that Mills could get some more playing time, but he ended up being like 15, I think, when we first signed him to the Youth Academy, which isn't allowed to make him a first team player, so we weren't able to use him, but that would have been really cool if he ended up progressing to 93, 94 overall as a Youth Academy player, because I don't think I've ever done that, where I've had a Youth Academy player that's actually gone up to their peak potential, just because normally rebuilds are much shorter than this. Let's see if I can just send it across the box again. Why didn't he just one-time it? Why didn't it switch to him? Why didn't it switch to my guy? I don't know why it wasn't just an easy tap-in. What happened there? Okay, nice little chance right here with Fontaine. Let's see if we can get something going. I'm actually going to cut back here. Send the guy at the top of the box once again. Boom. Nice play! And Kavici gets a goal! One of my favorite wingers in the entire world right now. And he does get a goal. What a way to end off this rebuild right here. He looks great in the Leeds United jersey. I wouldn't mind having him on the squad if I'm honest. He would be such a good addition to the squad. I think single-handedly, he could take Leeds United back to the Prem easily. I think, because he's so good at carrying teams like Georgia, and Napoli's in a pretty bad spot, or was in a pretty bad spot a few weeks ago, or a few months ago, and he helped them stay up. So I do think he has that carrying ability in terms of his play style and the way that he leads a squad. So him going to Leeds United would be so amazing. Oh my gosh, please! That looked like maybe a foul. He fell from the guy behind him, not even to my tackle. So that could have been a foul and a pen right there. They're heating up here. Oh my gosh. Why are they so good right now? This is EAFC once again rigging games, trying to get them to win last minute to make it more difficult for me. Okay, we got the ball back. Yep, nice little send right there to Hato. I'm gonna send Tell. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. I'm gonna send him. He's a little bit too tired for that, and it wasn't the best pass. That would have been nice if I could pull that off. Oh my gosh, but that would have been a nice way to end off this rebuild. Okay. Let's lock in a little bit here. I'm going to let you guys see a little bit more of the game time, just because I know this rebuild has been a lot of just simulating and signing players rather than game time. So I do want to hop into this, or I do want to make sure that this final game gets as much game time as possible. Let's see if we can get something going. Okay, nice little move. I do want to send the far guy outside. Nice. Once again. Nice little 1-2. Okay. Please, Kavicha. Across the box. Easy. Oh, what a save! What a save to keep it 3-0. Oh my gosh, and they're going to call it. And they're going to call it. Oh my gosh, what a save. But we do end the rebuild. Premier League champions. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild. Oh my gosh, this video took hours. But honestly, I've had such... Oh, player of the season? Who wins player of the season? Is it Tell? No way. That's gotta be Tell, right? And he actually won Ballon d'Or, which is insane. He got player of the season. Oh my gosh, that is such a good way to cap off this rebuild right here. I'm gonna skip this little cutscene because I do think there should be another cutscene showing us the celebrations on that bus thing. You know that cutscene at the end when you win the league and things like that. So they should be showing us a cutscene very soon. I'm just going to sim a little bit here. And then, oh my gosh, what a way to end off this rebuild. We dominated the league this season. Oh my gosh, what a way to end off this rebuild right here. I've had so much fun doing this rebuild. Honestly, we've picked up some Youth Academy players. We've bought some Youth Academy players. We've developed a lot of players. We started off with a lot of players from our original squad. It was a pretty decently realistic rebuild. Yes, the earlier seasons were a little bit more fast-paced than how they are going to progress in real life. But the signings that I made, I thought were pretty solid signings that could maybe happen in real life. So it was pretty interesting to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this rebuild. If you guys did, leave a like down below. Comment what team you guys want me to do next. Once again, shout out to you guys for commenting Leeds United. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys get this video to 100 likes so you guys can get a Leeds United kit. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and peace.